My grandmother rewrote her will at 91 and cut out every family member who missed her birthday dinner. My grandmother has never once in her life made a scene. 91 years on this earth, and she has never raised her voice at a family dinner, never sent back food at a restaurant, never said anything at a funeral that was not measured and appropriate and kind. She is the most composed woman I have ever known. She is also, I now understand, the most patient. She was not avoiding confrontation her entire life. She was waiting. She was collecting. And on a Tuesday afternoon in March, in a lawyer's office in Cincinnati with 31 family members sitting in folding chairs, she finally spent everything she had saved. I need to go back to October to explain what she spent it on. She turned 91 in October. She asked for one thing. Not a party, not a trip, not gifts, a birthday dinner, her house, 7 o'clock, everyone comes. That was the entire request. She sent the date 4 weeks in advance by text, by phone call, and for the older relatives who still preferred it, by handwritten card. She covered every method of communication available to a 91-year-old woman, and several that impressed me. She was thorough in the way people are thorough when something genuinely matters to them. 31 family members received that invitation. 14 showed up. I was one of the 14. I want to be transparent about that because it matters to how I tell this story. I was there. I saw her count. I did not realize she was counting at the time. I thought she was just looking around the table the way old people sometimes do, taking inventory of a moment. She was taking inventory of something else entirely. The dinner was good. She made her lemon cake. We sang. She laughed more than I had seen her laugh in years. She seemed genuinely happy, and I went home feeling like the evening had been exactly what she wanted. 3 weeks later, her lawyer called my father. He told us there had been an update to the will and that my grandmother had requested all family members be present for the reading. He said she was specific about the word all. Every living relative. Same room. She would be present as well. She wanted to be there when it was read. We assumed it was routine. An update on the house or the savings or some redistribution she had been thinking about. Nobody prepared themselves for what it actually was because nobody had been paying close enough attention. She sat at the head of the room in a gray cardigan with her hands folded in her lap. She looked exactly the way she always looks. Calm, unhurried. Like a woman who had already decided everything and was simply waiting for the rest of us to catch up. The lawyer read the updated will. The language was clean and direct in the way my grandmother has always been clean and direct when she decides to be. The estate, the house, the savings, the accounts, all of it was to be divided equally among the family members who attended her birthday dinner on October 14th. 14 names, listed in the order they arrived. The 17 people who had not come received a single line each. Their names, followed by the phrase, chose not to attend, and therefore will not receive a share of this estate. The room did not erupt. It did something worse. It fractured silently. I watched 17 people absorb that sentence with their names attached to it, and I watched the 14 of us try to figure out where to look. My cousin Derek, who had missed the dinner for a work conference he had chosen over rescheduling, stood up and then sat back down. My uncle Russell, who had sent a text saying he would try to make it and then never arrived, was staring at the floor. My aunt Cheryl had skipped the dinner because she and my grandmother had argued in September about something none of us ever fully understood. She was now sitting very still in a way that was not stillness. My grandmother waited until the lawyer finished, and she spoke. She said she wanted to say something while everyone was together. She said she had spent 91 years showing up. She said she had driven in snow to school plays and sat in plastic chairs at graduations and flown on airplanes at 83 years old to be at weddings in cities she had never visited. She said she had never once asked to be prioritized above anything important. She said she asked for one dinner, one night, 4 weeks notice, 7 o'clock. Then she said, I am not angry. I am just finished pretending that showing up does not matter. My cousin Rachel, who was among the 17, started to say something about her kids being sick that night. My grandmother looked at her with an expression that was not cruel, but was completely immovable and said, I know, sweetheart, and she looked away. Derek argued the loudest. He said this was manipulation. He said she was using money to punish people for having lives. He said no reasonable person would make a will contingent on attendance at a birthday dinner. He said it in the voice of a man who had 300,000 reasons to be loud and knew it. My grandmother said, you've been to 11 work conferences this year, Derek. I looked it up. She said it quietly. She said it the way you say something you have been holding for a long time. Then she asked the lawyer if they were finished. She stood up, thanked everyone for coming, and left the room. The 14 of us sat with the 17 of them for another 20 minutes, and nobody knew what to say because there was nothing to say that did not implicate someone. My uncle Russell kept repeating that he did not know it was such a big deal to her. That sentence went through me in a way I am still processing. She was 91 years old and asked for one dinner, and he did not know it was a big deal. The 17 have not stopped arguing about contesting the will. My grandmother is aware of this and has not changed her position. She called me last week to ask if I wanted her lemon cake recipe. He said yes. She read it to me over the phone at her own pace and asked if I was writing it down. I was. I will keep it longer than anything else she leaves me.